Hello and welcome back to another coding session with Mr. Jacob. Today I want to experiment a little bit because I am thinking about creating some sort of application which allows me to display certain dashboards on an e-ink paper display that I have lying around here doing nothing at the moment. I have a lot of picture frames there. We did e-paper picture frames which I'm using where we did some sort of implementation of dithering algorithms before. You can find that video linked up above there. But now I want to do something different. I want to create dashboards. And for that, I need to simply create a very small proof of concept to actually do that, because I want to actually use web pages, JavaScript and stuff, and essentially a web application to render my dashboards to images. And I think the most easiest and fastest variant to do that is actually by using Puppeteer and a Chrome browser. Puppeteer essentially is a library which allows me to speak the DevTools protocol of Chromium browsers, and therefore to have a headless Chromium browser which I control via code to do things to, like, for example, load and render a web page, execute the corresponding JavaScript, and then give me back an image of that web page. And what I want to implement now with you together is essentially just that. I want to create a minimal example where I try to bundle up a Chromium, a corresponding JavaScript application and the Node.js into a Docker container, and to run that Chromium within that Docker container so that we have something that we can later on, for example, deploy in a Kubernetes or on a Raspberry Pi or anywhere that we want to run as a server application. And I want to start this up and send it a web request, and it should essentially fetch a page for me, render it, and give me back an image of it in a specified dimension. And that's exactly what we are trying to create here as a proof of concept now, to have me see if this works out. I'm really kind of sure that this will work out. However, I need to try it to make sure it will work, and how complicated it actually is. So I think I will be using actually Next.js as an initial framework here. I've actually thought about that, and I don't want to create a UI now. I will later on, of course, if everything works out, I will create an UI for that, and I will use most likely Next for that. But I can most easily scaffold now a Next.js application and then use an API route in Next.js to simply do all the stuff that we need and call that from the command line via curl or something like that. So yeah, I think we will start up with create next app latest here. So let's quickly call that up, and let's call that web render experiment, I think. Okay, I want to use TypeScript, I want to use ESLint, I want to use Tailwind later on maybe. I don't need a source directory. Yes, I want the new app router, I want TurboPack, and I don't need to fiddle around with import aliases there. So let me quickly scaffold this project here. And as I said, Next.js is not needed for this at all. I could just have done it via Nest or even via simple quickly setting up Express or something like that. But this is the easiest way to, I guess, scaffold that, in keeping in mind that we later on will need some sort of UI for that to actually manage all of that I have in mind there. Okay, so now we should actually have that installed. Let's quickly create an nvmrc, because I am usually using the Node version manager here, and make sure that we are using Node version 22. So now we can do an nvm use, and we actually have nvm version v22, Node version 22. And now let's quickly do an npm run dev, I think it is. No, it's not. Let me move my nvmrc into my web render experiment folder. Let's go into the web render experiment folder, and then do an npm run dev, because I simply didn't go into the folder. Okay, so now this is created there. So let's fire up a new shell and simply try to access it under localhost 3000. This should actually work and give us something back. Yeah. That's Nest.js something debug and hydration code. Okay, so this works. Now we somehow need to package this up in a Docker container. So let's create a Docker file Do we want to separate production and development? Do we need two different? I think in the production one, we will want a multi-stage Docker build later on. Okay, so we definitely want a specific development Docker file. So let's create that. Let's start with an Alma Linux base image. I'm usually using Alma for anything where I need a couple of different packages. And as we are installing Chrome and stuff like that, I need a little bit more full-blown image. Later on, if we're doing a production image, we can try to get away with something like Alpine, for example, to keep it neat and small, but we will see that. For now, I will just use Alma and assume that everything is there available. So DNF. First of all, we need to update all packages, I guess. That will be something that we will need to do. And then we will need to do something like DNF install, come on, install -y EPL release, I think it is called, if I remember correctly. Those are the not so free packages. Something like Chromium, for example, which is not part of the default releases repository there from where we can install. And then I don't know how the Chromium images are actually called. So let's for now just execute something like bin bash by default, and let's save that. And then let's quickly build that Docker image and look into it, how the Chromium images are called. That I hope we can install without installing the whole Wayland or X server stack there. So what we want to do is something like build. We want to build something like the web render experiment.development.latest tag, I guess. And we will need to build from the file dockerfile.development exactly, and we want the current folder. So this should actually hopefully build as an image. Yeah, it's pulling the Alma Linux base image there, running the update. That should be reasonably quickly because the images aren't that big. So it should actually work. Okay, so now we have that. So now do something like maybe we should use that and put that into our package JSON quickly, because we will call it quite some time. So let's do something like Docker dev build, I guess, will be the name. Why not? Okay. So let's just insert that there and let's see. Okay, we are doing Docker build, web render experiment, development latest. We are using the Docker file development and we are saving that. Okay, and we will need something like, and that's why I just said I want to do that. We will start, we will use differently in the end. So let's do something like dev shell to get us a shell into the container. So then we can actually do something like docker run, and it will be minus it minus rm. So we want to redirect the input, and we want a tty shell there, and we want this within this container. That's okay. So in the running container there, and we want to run something like bin bash, just to make sure that we are within the however we did that in the command, didn't we? So we can actually leave that out of there. And I hope that I need a comma there and a comma there, and I have to see, by the way, if there is a language, an LSP for package JSON files in any of them. That would be actually quite nice. So let's do something like npm run docker dev shell now, and it should actually give me a shell after we have built that thing. Nice. So now I can do something like dnf search Chromium. Okay, so there is this full package Chromium here. But I guess this will include all of the Wayland stuff and something like that. And there is Chromium Common, okay. Files needed for both Headless shell and full. Oh, Headless. Chromium Headless, okay. Okay, maybe it would be even enough to install Common and Headless. What would it actually install if we do install Chromium common and Chromium. Now, come on, Chromium headless. 32 packages, 78 megabytes. That's definitely not the whole X server or Wayland stack. So in contrast, if I would install Chromium, yeah, okay, it would install 266 packages. And yeah. Okay, so I think I want to try that. So let's just quickly mark that up for copying there. And no, I don't want to install that now. I want to actually leave that image and I want to go back to Docker file development there. And let's do something like run. And we are doing actually an install of Chromium common and Chromium headless. And we may need to install different fonts and stuff like that later on, but that's not for our proof of concept here, I guess. So maybe this is actually enough. The other thing that we will need to install Node.js into this environment, don't we? So I usually want to do that via the Node version manager. So let's quickly take a look at NVM. There it is already. I must have already opened that a couple of times during our YouTube sessions. Okay, so yeah, that's the easiest way to install it is actually by simply using curl. But then we need to make sure that we have curl installed. Okay, so let's do something like run dnf install -y curl just to make sure. I'm quite sure that curl is installed, but let's maybe put that here. Something like install common tools or something like that. Base image update. And here we can do install Chromium. And then we will do install NVM. However, before we can actually do that, we need to create prepare application directory, because we need to somewhere install that stuff, I guess, or copy it at least. So what we want to do here is mkcd, mkdir. Mkcd is actually an alias I have in my shell, which creates a directory and sees directly into it. Would be something like /app. We want to create a /app folder, and then yeah, maybe we can actually do that under this entry here. And then we want to copy our NVMRC into the /app folder there. That would actually make sense, yeah, perfectly. And then we want to actually run this command that we just copied from the terminal, which should then install NVM. Yeah. Okay. So now we actually have NVM installed, but we need Node.js as well. So what we want to do is we somehow need now to actually run something like NVM install. I'm not sure that this actually will work. We will see. Let's try out. So npm run docker dev build was the command. Yes, that's what I created just there. So now it's installing curl. Okay. Okay, so it can't install curl. Are you sure? Wait, what? Package curl problem with install package curl minimal. Okay, so there is a package called curl minimal or something like that. Wait a second. Curl minimal. Okay, so I guess then we just ignore that and assume that curl is installed. I guess we can actually assume that there. Yeah, should assume that there maybe. Okay, so now it's installing the Chromium packages. Okay, so NVM, yeah, that's what I feared. So the problem is that NVM install, we can't call NVM install. The question is why exactly. So let's quickly see why this is. So let's quickly build that. It should be now more or less instantaneous, and then we go into this shell. And let's see. So if we do an NVM install here, yeah, we need to go to the app folder, of course. But that's, by the way, something we forgot. And so this is actually working. So it somehow sourced the NVM. So where is NVMRC? Let me quickly check that. So it usually should be in this folder. Yeah, and there should be an NVMSH. So what's with that file? Yeah, we definitely can read that. We are root, by the way, so we should be able to. Usually that is what happens. This file is sourced and then provides an NVM function within our shell environment. So the question is, did it install into the bashrc maybe? Okay, that could actually be the case. So root.bashrc. So yeah, okay. So essentially, when we do something like bash -l -c and then do an nvm install, would that actually work? That actually works. Okay, so that is something that we should be able to do from this command here as well. So if we do call bash with a login shell and tell it simply do that, it should actually source the bashrc and therefore allow us to do that. So let's quickly see if this builds now. Did not complete successfully. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if the reason is that I did not make the app directory the work directory here, which I should have done, I think. Yeah, prepare/app. Just like that. And then we do it like that in this order. That's a little bit nicer. Okay. Okay. Now it works. Okay, so my bash login shell command works. So nice. So now we should actually have a container where I simply can do nvm run dev. Or not. Oh, of course not, because my package.json does not, I have not yet kind of mounted the folder there. So we need a -v and we need something like use the, come on, the current folder here and map it to /app, please. That's definitely something that we will need there. No, I want to run that now. Yes, and now I should have, nice. Now we have all of the stuff within our directory here, and we should be able to execute that. Nice. Oh, it needs to, of course, it needs to download now the Linux version of the TurboPack compiler there. Okay, that's actually quite nice. So maybe we should disable telemetry. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't care for now, for this one here. I usually disable the next telemetry actually. So, okay, but now we have actually a Docker setup of our Next.js application within with a Chromium inside. That's actually quite nice. So, okay, we have not done anything with Puppeteer yet, but maybe we can now. Wait. We can't access that yet, can we? So what we actually need to do is we need to do something like expose 3000 TCP. So that we actually expose the corresponding port, and we want to then do something like package.json. We want to, when we run it. No, that's actually the moment when we first of all, we want an expose here, I think. Is it expose? If this does not run, I need to check the command because I never can remember that. Okay, expose is not invalid range format for expose. Would I have needed to? Let me quickly see. Docker help run. Okay, Docker help run grep expose list. Expose a port or a range of ports. But wait, isn't that? Oh no! It's not expose. It's how is it called? I need to quickly see. Port something. It's publish. Yeah. Publish a container's port to the host. Yeah. Publish all exposed ports to random ports. No. We want to publish. Yeah, okay. So we need to minus p something like 3000 to 3000. So this should actually map maybe the port already. So let's see. So npm run def here, and in our second shell, I should now be able to request the page. Okay, nice. So we requested actually into our Docker container. That's quite nice. So this is working. So what we now want is, I want in our package JSON another command here, which I call docker def start, and there I don't want to do it with the shell, but I want to do something like maybe npm run def, I guess, so that we quickly can start up the whole shell there. Okay, that does not work. Export fail, create an unable to start container process during. I see. Yes, of course. It can't find that because it's the same problem as before. It didn't source the NVM. So we need the node version manager. So we need the same trick here again. We need to put this into a bash login shell, and then that hopefully should work. Nice. Okay. So now we are just spawning the container and calling through into our system. Okay, nicely done. So now we can actually start implementing an API route and try something with Puppeteer. First of all, I guess I need to install Puppeteer, don't I? So install, is it just Puppeteer, or what is it actually? Let's see. How do I actually install it? Because there is a version there which installs Chrome. Usually it installs Chrome, but as I've said, I want to manage that myself. So download compatible Chrome during installation. Yes, and there is Puppeteer core. Okay, alternative in the library without downloading Chrome. Okay, that's interesting. When they changed that, the last time I tried that, or I thought about trying and used that for some web scraping and stuff, there was some sort of environment flag that you needed to set to actually install Puppeteer without installing Chrome with it. But yeah, that makes sense. Puppeteer core. Okay, so that's nice. Then let's install Puppeteer core. Puppeteer core. Okay. And I hope that it does not, does not install Chrome, because that would have taken a lot longer. Okay, so now we actually have a Puppeteer in there. So maybe I want another shell. I think I want another shell because I want one with a Docker container. So let's start our Docker environment there. So this is the Docker environment. I want my nvim here, and I want the shell to later on call some call commands and stuff like that. Okay, so now let's see. We should now be able to create an API route, and as far as I remember, it's a little bit that I've done Next.js application. I think I need an API folder, and then in this one I need something like the route's name. Let's call it just render for now, and then I guess I will put a route TS in here. Not 100% sure I remember that correctly, but we will see. So, and now I think I just export the, I just export an async function here. Wait, I did something wrong there. I want it to be in this file. Thank you. Okay, so now I am exporting actually an async function, which is called like the HTTP method that I want. So in my case, I want to do a post, I guess. Yeah, why not? And this one should get a request, which is something like next. next request. Nice. Thank you, auto completion. And it returns. What does it actually return? Is there a next? There is a next response. Does it actually return a next response? I think it will return a next response. We will see. We will see. So for now, let's just somehow get the request body kind of. So const, I don't know, options equal request dot body. Okay, that's a readable string. How was that? I don't really remember. Blob bytes. Oh, yeah. I think they encapsulated that in a way where I just can do it like that. And now it should maybe give me the options. And now I could return something like response dot. Yeah, exactly. The JSON. And now I should be able to do something like hello world, and we simply put the parsed options there, and type response is missing the following properties. Okay, what is our next response unknown cookies? Interesting. Do we need next response here? And of course we need to wrap that in a promise. Yeah. Of course we need to wrap that in a promise, and it's unknown because we have I see. But this should actually be the default there. So this should work as well. Yeah. Because we haven't specified what we are actually expecting or what we are returning as in data structure land, so to speak. So okay, let's see if my my knowledge about Next.js and my remembering about Next.js actually is right here. So I want to do a post and I want to send some data, something like foo bar here. Let's quickly just curl that. And then I want a header with a content type of application, JSON. And I want to request HTTP localhost 3000 API render, I called it, I think. Let's see what happens here now. Okay, so so I remembered correctly how the Next.js API works. That's actually already quite nice. So, and usually it's not that slow. As you can see, it's quite fast now because it has now one time compiled all the stuff. Because it's only doing that if needed during development. And as you have seen, it live reloaded kind of, because we added this file after we actually did that. And that's why I wanted to use Next.js and so on, like to have a fully functioning, easily bootstrappable setup there, even though Next.js is more or less the wrong thing there. I should have maybe used Nest.js, but yeah, we don't care about that now. This should work for us. Okay, so actually, that's quite nice. So now we have something that we can actually use for our experiments. So let's quickly do something like, let's create a type here maybe. So let's do a type render request, something like that. And we are not using Zot now for type checking or something like that. We could actually, but no, not fraud. Let's just do a type here, and let me do something like, we want to specify the URL, which is a string. We want to specify the width, which is actually a number, and we want to specify a height, which is a number, I guess. And yeah, I think that's for now what we want to specify. Yeah, I think so. And now I think I can do something like, I can tell it that I want this to be of the type render request, I think. Oh, okay. This one is not generic. Okay, interesting. But I will, yeah, we don't have a response type there. We will see that in a second. But what I want to do now is I want, yeah, then I could have, I think I don't need this type then. Okay, I should just prototype this and not try to make it neat. I tend to make things like that neater than they need to be. So let's just extract something like URL width and height from our JSON body there. And then, yeah, for now, let's just return hello world here. We don't need that anymore. Come on. I actually wanted, you can't be sure. I actually wanted to be in this buffer. I somehow changed the buffer. Okay, so now we need to initialize Puppeteer here. So let's do const browser equals or something like that, or Puppeteer, or we will see. There was a documentation entry, I guess. Yeah, that's the example. So they are importing Puppeteer. Yeah, then they are launching the browser. Then we most likely need to specify here then where the command actually, or which browser it should actually execute, as we are not installing it together with Puppeteer here. Then we are creating a new page. We are going to that page. We are changing the viewport. I think that is the wrong order. I usually change the viewport before. Okay. Yeah, and then you can do all kinds of stuff, click somewhere and stuff like that. And we want actually to just wait until it's finished and then render an image. Okay, so I guess launch new page, go to, yeah, seems to be not that problematic. So let's see. Let's do Puppeteer, which I never can really write, and then let's do launch. And let's see, what do we have here? Option. Launch is a browser instance with given arguments option when specified. Oh, okay. Okay. When actually using Puppeteer core here, as you can see here, we need to specify executable path or channel. Interesting. Actually, that's kind of interesting, actually. So, yeah. Can I actually go to declaration? Is there something, I think I have not mapped that. I should actually map, map a way to actually then go from my documentation to such positions here. Nevertheless, okay, so we need to go and see what we can actually specify here in the terms of launch options. So that's actually a channel. No. I want executable path. Okay. So we definitely need executable path. The question here is, oh, I need to stop that for a second because I need to go into the shell because I have absolutely no freaking idea where the Chrome here is installed. So let's do something like Chromium and just search for it everywhere. So those are all the Node module. lib60. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure that the headless install is actually enough, because why is it under lib64? Okay, so okay, nevertheless, there seems to be a 160 megabytes headless shell executable something. So can we actually run that? Running as a root without no sandbox is not supported. Okay, what happens if I give it no sandbox? Okay. Not sure why this now happens when I told it I don't want sandboxes, but nevertheless it's running. So maybe I want this and a headless shell there. So what I actually would like to do is I would like to have this path, don't I? Okay, I guess let's just try that executable path there. So we are giving it that as an executable path. Why not? And we need an await, of course, because it's asynchronous, and we are giving it executable path. And we are just putting that in there. And maybe we should put that into an env file or to some sort of configuration file, or let's do fixme put into .env or config file. Most likely this should be actually in some sort of environment variable. Yes. Yeah. Let's just do process.env Chromium executable path or something like that. Yeah. And then we will do, we will simply set that here during the installation. We will do an env Chromium executable path equals, and we give it that path. I think that is the most reasonable thing to actually do here. And let's go back to our route now. Okay, so we now have a browser, and now we can get we can actually get a page, I guess. Let me. Something's wrong here with my indentation setup. It was not page. No. Route. Okay, so yeah, now it read it correctly. I have auto detection for my indentation, and it somehow fucked that up. Okay, so now we need a page. So we want await browser.page. No, add page, new page. Come on. And yeah. Okay, first of all, let's do a fix me here. Start browser. Come on, browser. Only once. And reuse process. Maybe even only allocate a page once and reuse it. But let's not get carried. I'm already getting carried away here. Again, so page, what was it? Set, come on, page, set viewport. Okay, and what is actually given to set viewport? It's a viewport configuration. And how does a viewport configuration look like? It has a width, a height, and device scale factor. Interesting. Okay, maybe then we should actually add that to our JSON that we are getting here. Device scale factor. Okay, so set viewport, then we can simply do here a URL, no, not URL, with height and device scale factor. We are simply putting these values in there, and I'm quite sure that this will be asynchronous as well, because everything needs to be synchronous, because it always needs to communicate asynchronously with the DevTools protocol, with the browser via DevTools protocol. So now we should actually have the page viewport set, and now we should be able to do something like page go to URL. And then there is something like network, wait for network idle. Exactly, perfect. That I still remember. Interesting. So essentially what this does is it waits until there isn't any network traffic ongoing for some time. And usually that's a quite good indicator that everything has processed now correctly. It doesn't work in every situation, and it makes things a little bit slower than they need to be. If you are doing custom analysis, like when this element is there, then you are ready, or something like that. But for now, it should work fine. So we are navigating, then we are waiting until the network is idle. And then I actually have no idea how the syntax is to get a PNG. There is PDF, okay, but we don't want a PDF. We want let's check the documentation. I don't remember anymore. So Puppeteer API. So Puppeteer, no touchscreen tracing. Is there anything with image or coverage, event emitter, page maybe, and then page metrics, PDF, PNG isn't there anywhere, is it? Image, something like that. Okay, can we actually use the search? Like, what is if we do PNG, optional PNG in, where is this actually? That's in screenshot options interface. Interesting. So is there, okay, there are obviously screenshot options. So is there something like screenshots? Await page screenshot, path. Okay, we can do that to a path. Can we somehow get the information there. So it's actually returning a string. Can we encoding base 64? Okay. Wait, screenshots options and encode. There is a okay. You have screenshots. We can call screenshot and then okay. So encoding binary, nice. So we can actually get a binary encoding of our data. That's quite nice, I think. And full page, yeah, that's exactly what we do not want. We do not want the full page, so optimize for speed. Interesting. Type PNG, JPEG, WebP. Okay, nice. Yeah, so let's try that, I guess. So we have something like screencast, no, screenshot. Okay, and it was type was PNG. And it was, what was it? Full page we didn't want. So only the area that the viewport port is. And then there was encoding, or how was it called? Base 64. No, it wasn't binary? Okay, seems to be valid. Okay. So do we actually get back here now? Is it really that, was it really that easy? Okay, let's see. If we now create a new next response. Actually, I'm not 100% sure how we can actually this body init. Okay, body init should then be body init. What is actually body init? So let's see. I'm not 100% sure what this is in the response case. So it extends response. I guess it will be defined in response, and response extends body. Come on. And there must be somewhere. Where is the declare var response there? New body init. Yeah. Okay, body init, readable stream. Okay, nice. So we have a readable stream, and what is this one? This is headers. Perfect. Status. Okay. That's quite perfect. So what we need to return here now is a next response, and maybe I can just put there the image. We will see. And we do it status 200. We are doing headers with a content type of image PNG, I guess. I can't. I don't think that it will be that easy, but we will see. Have I actually? No, I did not start that up again. Let's quickly start up the server in the Docker container. And now let's do a curl here. And now we need, of course, some other data. We said we need a URL. What would be the URL? Let's just request let's do, for now, let's try HTTPS. Let's just request my own website, which only shows actually my contact information. We want, what do we want? A height of something like 100, and we want a width of 100, and there was this device scale. How was it called actually? Device scale factor. Yeah, okay. So the device scale factor would be 1. Okay, and then we are supplying this as application JSON, and then we render that, and then we should get an image back, maybe. Maybe we are now walking our terminal. Okay, we don't get anything back. So what happened here? Okay, so start browser only once and Chromium executable. Okay, is that I did not rebuild the image in the meantime, and I added this environment variable to our Docker image actually. Maybe this should be part of the env file. I have no idea. Let's just try. Let's just try again. So it's starting. It's ready. Let's request that again. Okay. Failed to launch the browser process. Running as root without no sandboxes. Not support. Okay, but at least it tried to start it. So we somehow need to supply. Can we somehow supply what other launch options do we have here? So. Ignore default args, handle zig int, zig something timeout, dump IO, env maybe, pipe, browser, wait for initial page, headless? Okay, wait, what? True launches the browser in headless mode. I guess we should supply that. DevTools, we don't want DevTools. Args, additional command line arguments to pass to the browser instance. So we wanted, okay. So let's quickly see. We want headless, true, and we want args, and we had, was it no sandbox? So is it really that? Let's restart. I don't know, not that it tried to start it already and something like that. So it's rendering now, what it's doing now. So okay, our third common name invalid. Interesting. So it seems to have a problem with the HTTPS. Wait, did it really spawn the browser and tried to request it? Okay, let's for now just try it without. Maybe I need to install some certs or something like that. Did it just, wait a second. Okay, output foobar PNG. File foobar PNG. That's actually a PNG image 100 by 100. Foobar PNG. That is part of my website. Okay, that worked. Okay, it just worked like that. Okay, that's actually, okay, let's maybe get an 800 by 600 image version. Wait, what? Yeah. Okay, so open Foobar PNG. Wait. It's lengthy. It's not wide. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, height 800 with 600. Okay, I just turned the parameters there, but it works. That's actually my web page. If you go to westerveld.de, you are actually getting this page. Okay, that is awesome. So how long does it actually take to spawn we need 2 seconds to spawn a Chrome, render this page, and give it back as an image. 2 seconds to spawn this thing. That's actually fast. I don't want to do that in the future, but that's fast. Maybe we can quickly try to optimize that, because I wouldn't have thought that it is actually working like that. Like, it is just working. Okay, that's quite cool. Okay, so actually I have now proven what I wanted to prove and try out, that this works, because now I can plan my project further and think about that, because I needed a way to do that. But let's quickly see how much faster we can get it if we are not firing it up every time, because 2 seconds is a little bit too slow for what I want to do. If we are about a 1 second or something like that, it would be perfectly fine, but because then we might be able to optimize that further without this wait for network idle stuff, and doing it another way in the situation where I want it. And in the end, I actually want to provide the data to be rendered within the request and not as a web page. So we are not even loading something from the web. And yeah, so we can actually optimize that. But let's see, I guess if we want something like that anywhere else, we need some sort of pool for browsers or browser environments, or maybe even we can have one browser environment with multiple pages. That should actually work. So, okay, let's see. Let's quickly implement something like that. So let's maybe create a folder here called lib. And we go into that folder and we call that one browser pool or something like that, TS. And let's go into that and let's do, for now, class browser pool. And this one will have a constructor, which is public, of course. And let's quickly sketch out the API. It will have something like, do we want to, I think I want to try to have one browser instance with multiple pages. I'm not sure that this actually works, but we will see. So essentially this will be a browser page pool in the end. But yeah, okay. So we want to something like require page or request page is, I think, the better. Yeah, no, I will require page. which will give you a promise to a page, I guess. So if there is, yeah, there is. So a page object there. And we need to, come on, what's with me typing today? So, and this will be an async function. And we will need something like, we will need to release a page in the end. So this essentially then will be a page to be released, and it will return a promise void. And I think that's more or less the public API there. Okay, so what do we need to actually do that? We will need something like a browser instance here. So we will need a browser, and yeah, that's actually the browser there that we will have, and we will either have a browser or we will have undefined there. Yeah, the problem is that I want to actually initialize the browser pool only if necessary. So I guess what we want to do is we want to have a browser or undefined there. Then we need something where we can actually store all of our pages, or better said, we need something to store released pages. So this will be a page array, and it will be initialized empty, and we need something where we actually can store our required pages, and this will be a page array, and it will be an empty one as well. And then we will need something that actually tells us how many pages we want at a maximum to acquire. Okay, let's do that later, because for that we will need some sort of queuing, I guess. So that if, for example, like we allocate like 16 pages, and if we need more than 16 pages because another request comes in that needs it, then this request has to wait until one of the pages is released again so that we can reuse it, just to limit memory and CPU usage and stuff like that. So fix me implement queue and max page allocation. We will definitely have to think about that a little more, I think, because we will need that queuing then. Okay. So now that we have that, we can actually do something like export browser pool equals new browser pool. I think I will, for now, just export that as a singleton, even though I don't like that. But for the prototype, it's perfectly fine. I will later on do this with some sort of dependency injection, of course. Okay, so in case we want to require a page, what do we need to do? We need, first of all, make sure that we have a browser. So I should do something like private ensure browser running or something like that. And this will be, of course, asynchronous as well. And it will simply give me a void or... No, I think I will do that in another way. I will just return a browser here. Yeah. That makes a little bit more sense because of the typing. And we'll just call that get browser. And we simply do if this dot browser does not is not undefined, then we can simply return this dot browser and we are ready. And otherwise we need to spawn that thing. So we need this browser to be actually what we implemented. Where was it? Where come on. Okay, let's go into our route and let's just take that out of there because we don't need that there anymore. And maybe I should set up Harpoon for that, but no, let's just go. We should have that browser pool there. Okay, so we don't want this one. We want to do this, and then we want to remove those. And now we should, of course, import Puppeteer. Let's do that. Yeah, we cannot format that because we have broken somewhere something. Okay. But for now, we have then this browser here. And why is this actually broken? I'm not sure what's the problem here. So we have this if here, we have that there, we are closing that there. Why is it not function? Yeah, but that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So get browser. So require page will do something like, first of all, we check if we have in this released pages a page which actually is available, then we can simply return. No, then we take that page out of there. Page equals this released pages dot pop, and we are just returning the we are this required pages dot push. We put it in there, the page, and then we are returning the page, and then we are already finished. And why is it not realizing that this actually, I know that the pop can actually fail if the array doesn't have the proper, that doesn't make sense. In this case, TypeScript should actually know that, but okay. And this needs to be required pages. Thank you. And then we are already giving back the right thing. Okay, if we don't have released pages, then we need to allocate one more. So we need to do something like const page equals this.getBrowser. And this is actually an okay. So const browser this await this.get browser, and then we will do await browser new page. And once we have that new page, we can actually move forward and actually add that to this required pages push page, and we can return that page. Okay. And now we need to be able to release a page again. So what we are doing there is we are first of all, I think, checking required index, if it's actually required or if we actually know about it, because otherwise something really broken has been happening. So we can just do this required pages dot index of come on page. That should actually give us the index there. And if required index equals -1, because that's, as I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, is index of, yeah, it's -1 if it's not there, then we should throw an error. Throw new error unknown page was given for release. That simply should never happen. And if it's not like that, then we can do something like this dot required pages dot splice. We are splicing that out, and I can never remember its start and delete count. Okay, so now we just put the required index in there and simply tell it to delete one entry. And this should actually remove the page then, and then we can this dot released pages, and we push the page into that. And this should actually then release a page. And we need a const here. And now we have one other error. What's the error? Function lacks any return statement, something, something. Yeah. We should return this browser if we have started it. Thank you. Thank you, NeoVim language server, a TypeScript language server, for telling me that. Otherwise, I would have learned it the hard way when using that one. So I think if we now go back to our render route, we can kind of change things a little bit here. Because I think what I want here is now, do I need Puppeteer anymore? No, I don't need any more Puppeteer. What I need here now is const, or better said, I need the browser. I called it browser pool, didn't I? And I want to actually require a page here. So what I want here is now page browser pool require page, and I need an await here, of course. And now I should be able to remove that. And in the end, once I have done that, I have gotten that screenshot, I need to do something like await browser pool dot release page. And I should actually do something like a try catch around here then, just to be a neat little citizens there, because yeah, let's do actually a try catch finally. So, or can I, I'm not sure, can I do that? Can I just do a try finally here? Is that actually possible? Never actually tried that. Okay, now it of course doesn't know the image there. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So, yeah, so let's do something like let image. What type is that actually that we are getting back there? It was a string, or wasn't it? Promise uint8 array. Okay, that's dependent on the encoding, I think. So I think we are now getting a uint8 array. So, and it's just not set here. It's undefined, and I can then actually set that here, and then that should work. Okay, so that's okay for me. So just to make sure that we are releasing the page if anything happens there that should not happen. Okay, so if I've done that correctly, and yeah, let's just re-render that and let's see if that actually works. Okay, so we actually get the page back. We still get the page back. Okay, that's kind of nice. The question here is now, that was with a startup. The question is now, no, not open. The question now is if I do that again, is it faster? Oh. Nice. Now it only takes 800 milliseconds. Nice. The question is, first of all, the question is if I render something different now, does it still work, or is it just giving me over and over the same thing? So let's maybe just render google.com or something like that. Okay, then it takes quite some time longer, maybe because it needed to load something, but it was, even though faster than, okay, that's the cookie thingy there, but it loaded another page there. So if we now do my page again, it still takes 900 milliseconds. So yeah, okay, so I think that is nice. It may be caching something there. I'm not sure about that, but nevertheless, that's perfectly fine. That's around the time that is perfectly fine for me. So okay, that is a great thing. So let's maybe see. I need actually the route here. Let's actually see. No, I want it to be here because I'm thinking about maybe when I'm releasing this, I maybe should be removing this from the required pages, and then I should maybe do something like await page go to, and I'm not sure if this even works. So I should maybe switch that back to a blank page, just to maybe give it back some memory or make it, yeah. Let's see. Let's see if this changes anything. Okay, so now because it restarted the server there, and then it's still around 800 milliseconds, and it seems to still work. So, However, at the moment, it's not spawning more than one thing, I would assume. Let's quickly check if it does that. So let's quickly check by simply doing a docker, docker ps. So let's see. We have this one running. Let's get the Docker container here. So let's exec an IT, and let's exec into that, and let's simply get me a bash there. Perfect. So how many PS not found? No. Great. So what does give us PS? So DNF provides PS. Proc psng. Okay, DNF install -y proc psng. No, not proc PC, proc ps. Let's quickly install that. And I actually want PS tree as well. So what provides me PS tree? That's in PS misc. Okay, DNF install -y PS misc. PS tree. How many? Okay, maybe we did something wrong there, because that's there are a lot of different headless. Maybe they are not really bound anymore. Let's quickly see if we may have just... Oh yeah, now it removed the container. Makes sense. Okay, let's restart that, and then let's see, because we did all the rebuilding when changing things, and I guess it always restarted a new process, and we never actually cleaned that up. Oh, that's actually something that we need to take into account. We need to clean up the browser process in the end somehow. Okay. But for now, let's see. There should be docker ps. Let's quickly get the container ID here. I think I could do that by name, can't I? Yeah, but I don't care. So let's quickly do the container thingy here, and I think now we need to install, what was it? PS misc again. DNF install -y, because yeah, it used the image again, and there isn't yeah. Okay, so PS tree. Okay, so currently there is no spawned server, which makes perfect sense. So now let's do a render here. And this render took now 3-something seconds, because I think it needed to compile stuff and spawn the server. So let's see. Okay, it created a lot of different headless shell processes, but it might be normal. I would hope that this is normal, actually. The question is, if I do that again, will it create more of those? No, it did not. So it reused our page. So there are most likely, yeah. Okay, so there are most likely a lot of different processes within the Chrome. No, not most likely. There are a lot of different processes, like, for example, the JavaScript engine and the renderer, and they are all different processes, and each page is a different process and stuff like that. So I guess that this is what we are seeing here. The thing is that it keeps there, and it is simply reused, and that's why it's now a lot faster, which actually is quite nice. So that's actually what I hoped to see there. And if I do now parallel requests, so let's maybe do something like while true do done. So we are actually retrieving this over and over again. And now let's just create another one here and do the same thing here as well. And let's see if this is still the same. Okay, the same amount. And if we now execute that parallel, it should actually most likely have spawned another one. Yeah, there is another one. That's nice. Okay. Here is only one of those, and here are now 2 of those. Okay. Okay, that's kind of neat. So it actually has reused this somehow. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and both of those should be not reasonably slower. Okay, they are still in this 1 second range. So what happens if I create another one of those? And maybe a 4th one. are they still around they are all still around in the 1 second range. So it's actually taking, maybe it's just the network communication and the loading stuff. And now it has, yeah. Now it has even more headless shells there. Okay, that seems to work quite well. So I like that. So that is actually a way to do what we want to do here. Yeah, so I think we have demonstrated what we wanted to demonstrate, or I at least have done what I wanted to do, and to check if this works, and I can then progress in this project further. Yeah, and maybe if you liked what we did here, I will, of course, by the way, push this to GitHub. And if you liked what I did here or what we did here, I hope you are giving this video a thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button, and I hope to see you then in the next one. And I think if I'm going further with this project, part of it at least, I will definitely do on video, and you will be there to join me when I'm making this thing then, if I decide to do so, into a real application. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun discovering this, and it was actually, even though I thought it might be not that big of a problem, I wasn't sure about all the Docker setup stuff, which was in the end quite easy actually. And this seems to work out quite reasonable. I will have to see what this actually might take on a Raspberry Pi, and what kind of memory, for example, this takes. Because in the end, I think I will run it on a Raspberry Pi, even though I can run it in my home Kubernetes cluster anyways, if I wanted to. But yeah, I want it to be able to run on a Raspberry Pi. So yeah, so I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope you had fun watching here this video. So see you. Bye.